much for having me on your platform, and one love to everybody listening. Boy, in previous years, we didn't want the international break to finish, and the one-time Arsenal fans are itching to see their team back in action. We put in a performance like that, broski. Now, everything went wrong, innit? Like, what can we say? When you lose 3-0, you barely scratch the surface in terms of chances. It's meaty, I don't think anyone can say they played to their potential. We lost battles all over the field. Defenders, attackers, they kept a clean sheet. They scored 3 goals. They haven't won at home in the last couple of games. I think even saw something like in the last 5 games, Crystal Palace haven't won at home. So they've turned that around. If we had to lose to someone, you'd rather it be Patrick Vieira, right? So there's a silver lining for us. Everything went wrong. I'd say the 3 subs in Eddie and Ketia, Lokonga and Martinelli look better than the players who started. I would say, Tavares got savaged. Defenders were shambolic. We're struggling to play 5-yard passes. We're losing 50-50s. We look disjointed. We're struggling to cope with the energy, the intensity, the tenacity, and the hunger of Crystal Palace. And we're just getting bullied. The warning signs were there before the first couple of goals came. And then to be under half an hour, 2 goals down away from home, you put yourself in silly scenarios, really. I think everybody was looking to their fellow teammate for inspiration. Nobody, like what we've seen in previous weeks, no one was taking authority and responsibility. Midfielders are looking at each other. Wingers are looking at strikers. Strikers are looking at cams. Right backs and left backs are looking at centre halves. Centre halves are looking at them. Keepers looking all over the place. We're just shambolic. And it's another, we probably have to win every home game, including the difficult ones. We definitely need to win away from home. It's in many ways it was symbolic to some of the batterings we've had, but it was a bit like Brighton away from me in that we didn't start that game well, and we were lucky to get a point. Today we weren't quite so. Second half we did fight back a bit more, but we conceded, which a goal that kind of sums up things. Obviously Odegaard's the full guy and he's made the mistake, but Partey's lost the ball, and on the transition we're terrible. The first goal's poor. We've improved at dead balls and set pieces. We're not following runners. People are ducking over headers. We cannot get anywhere near Palace, and we can't really get on the ball and affect it. That's why Ben White has fouled Zaha, and what's led to Conor Gallagher putting the ball in. The second goal, again, Xhaka, Lacazette not doing well enough. Again, and it's not just them, because Gabriel and Tavares also do poor. We've explained the penalty. So 3 terrible goals, not putting the ball in the back of the net. But even the players that didn't take the chances, I can't really criticize them, because we're creating 2-3 chances a game. It's a madness, really, because again, we were not going to win every game. We probably were going to lose and drop points and things, and it makes the top four race exciting and more nerve biting and whatnot. But it's disappointing considering what happened with Chelsea in third, seeing obviously Spurs and West Ham win, seeing obviously United draw, and keep in perspective, we're still in the mix. We still have a 3 points gap on other teams, but as you saw today, games in hand have to correlate to 3 points, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. We need to take all frustrations out on Brighton. It's as simple as that, really, and claim 3 points. We was anonymous. Odegaard and Lacazette in particular disappointed me. Saka was anonymous. Midfield, Partey was doing all right in the first half, and I say all right in comparison to some of his teammates playing slightly poorer. Fell off a cliff in the second half. I'm a big fan of Gabriel and Ben White, but it's a myth. Tavares, as poor as he was, he's thrown to the wolves. I think he's shown this against Liverpool, against Nottingham Forest, against and obviously today, and United, that away from home, he's not someone you can rely on. We haven't got anyone else. Could Arteta have went with a back 3? Does Arteta maybe have to find a solution or an alternative to Lacazette through the middle? Did we kind of kill anything with, Saka and Martinelli swapping? I don't know. I think a lot of, we made our bed in January, in the sense of we haven't got that 8 in midfield that can make things happen. We ain't got a striker that can make things happen. We ain't really got depth on the bench. Like, again, this was the worst case scenario, needing people to come off the bench. Realistically, there's only Martinelli. I know when Ketia came on and hit the crossbar, but realistically, I don't think many Arsenal fans expected anything much from him. And I would think that, like I said, there were similarities with the Brighton game, in that we didn't start well, and the only luxury of that is that we won. I think there were similarities in the Liverpool game at home recently, beyond the obvious, in that goals change games, right? There was a chance to score 2 goals in the second half. We didn't take our chances. Like I said, we ain't got the actual goal scorers, but they could have changed the game for us. They didn't. Ultimately, we conceded a third. So a lot of we kind of made our bed in January in it with whatnot, and the time to speak about it is in May. We're still in a fight. We're still, a bit of pill to swallow. Spurs are in the direct driving seat. We've been on cloud nine as Arsenal fans. For those that thought everything was a far gone conclusion, there's, it's not. So we're gonna have to go again. It's as simple as that, man. Away from that, what are you gonna say? Like, it was terrible. Back to the drawing board. The good thing is we haven't got too far to travel. We need to get back on it. Can't feel sorry for ourselves because the games aren't. We've got 9 games left. It's a shootout. Other people are gonna drop points, but we need to get back on to taking advantage of them. And we can't feel sorry for ourselves because reality is we've got some difficult games, innit? You lot already know if you don't quickly Google Arsenal's fixtures. So Spurs seem to be in the driver's seat, favourable run of fixtures, moving to pole position, got players who seem to be in better form. Obviously, what makes our task harder is not just this game, but you're kind of nervous on what's going on with Tierney and Partey. As you know, Mo, massive Tierney fan. But we probably might need to look for a new left back just in case. The only question mark over Tierney is just him being available and stuff like this. You see what happens, people. It's a squad game, so yeah, it was a shambles today, but it is what it is on that note, man.